Okay, this is part 4. Um, the schools needs to be, the power of the schools need to go back to the people and the state. I mean, the federal government's got too much of a hold on it. They've been interfering with commerce for so long, and it just needs to stop. The principal should be able to say, hey, you're fired, or hey, I think that you should be hired, but let's go through the board and see, if they agree or whatever and hire. It shouldn't have to cost a lot of money to fire a teacher. Teacher don't do their job, and teacher gets fired. And I believe that school should go down to 3 hours a day, 5 times a week. Where, you have the bases, like basic math through pre-kindergarten, preschool to 8th grade. You got to get your basic math down. And then your reading, writing, and stuff like that. But you have to have language. You have to be able to read. You have to be able to do basic math. I mean, all the rest of it is just really hogwash. Just to eat time. And that's why we have a lot of dropouts, because they see it, they're like, what? We're not even going to use this in real life. So it's just a waste of my time, and they drop out of school. So 3 hours a week, 3 hours a day, 5 times a week. And then they have in the mornings, they have a half an hour of PE, first thing, to get their blood going and wake up their brain. And then they go into class. After breakfast and stuff like that. And then they have lunch. And then either after they eat lunch, they could either go home or they could go for additional study of what interests them. And invest in the individual, not the collective. And that still gives 8 hours, 8.5 hours a day of schooling. But it gives the kid an opportunity to be able to choose, hey, I really like science. Let me go and see what I can do with science. Or, well, I really like history. Let me go see if I can become a history teacher. Let me do my free time on what interests me, not what is mandated. And high school, I think high school is when you get into your public speaking and your civics and your Latin and then one other language. I mean, you gotta make it more fit to today's what is needed, and you won't have such a high dropout rating or people that can't read. Let me see. Need to bring back real teachings in schools. I mean, that's really needed. And there's too many hands in the pot of our welfare system. The welfare system is so corrupt. HUD, I mean, they need to go back to the voucher system. I mean, because the poor people are getting herded like cattle. Well, you have to go here, then once they get you in there, you've been here for a month, so here, let's change the rules and regulations on you to take away more of your rights, or you have 30 days to get out. I mean, what is that? They know that you just moved in there. You just had to pay. Elderly people have to pay moving companies because they're unable to move their furniture and everything. And then you have 30 days. I mean, you're on a fixed income. You don't have money for the month. And then what are you going to do? Go live on the street? I mean, all of that is just ridiculous. Where the HUD system, I mean, it's a good ideal, but there's just too many hands in the pot. Too much greed. I mean, I really think that's just what's wrong with America today. It's just all greed. I mean, we don't live in a utopia. They want to take away our guns. Well, you're not going to get them. You're not. Because the American spirit is, we'll push the easy button. We would. Before we would falter from within, we would push the easy button. I mean, or just go on and just do what, 4/20/2013, just go in and just clean house. Everybody's gone. And when the president, the vice president's gone, you know who's the next person in line is the Speaker of the House of Congress. The Speaker, John Boehner, would be the next president of the United States if this 420 actually goes through. He's the next one in line. And he loves this country. He cried when He really loves this country. He feels honored to be in the position that he's in. Could you just imagine the type of stuff that he would be able to do as president? I mean, he does what he can. And we need to bring back, you know, like the freedom of movement. I mean, all this, stop, have you been drinking? Are you a U.S. citizen? It's not your damn business. I have a right to freedom of movement. I have a right to travel. I mean, we don't even have to have license plates. But we do it as a courtesy so you know who we are. But you go by the VIN number. You know, you don't have no one has the right to say, oh, well, you can't travel down this road. When it's in our Constitution, we have freedom of movement. And the gas prices need to go because we have plenty of oil. We're so supplied in oil now that we could start selling it to other countries. So we need to open up our refineries and start working on that. And no more of this military on the streets. I mean, they have no right to police the people. They're military. They do their military thing. We have our police departments, which are getting corrupted and threatened and everything. You know, threatening our legislatives or threatening our sheriffs because they want to stick up for the Constitution. I think everybody just needs, and it needs to be cleaned. And everybody, it's going to go to part 5.